Club. I'm Ben. I'm doing my entry for Bronco Juggalo's 500 subscriber giveaway. You guys all know Bronco Juggalo. If for some reason you don't, which I find hard to believe if you're watching this video, anyway, there's a link to his channel in the description. He's a cool ass dude, and yeah, go subscribe to him if you're not already. So anyway, he has 3 questions. So because I've been procrastinating for so long on this, all of the good answers for the first question are taken. The first question is, where would we put him, his homie Bill, and his wife, Mrs. Bronco Juggalo? Where would we put them in a horror movie? So I am going to make up a movie to put them in. The movie I'm going to make up is entitled Meetup, and it is spelled M-E-A-T, up. And it is the story of a meetup of a social media horror group. So we open the movie with Mrs. Bronco Juggalo basically planning this event on this Facebook group or social media, whatever. We open with just a montage of screenshots of them coordinating. Through this, we meet Bronco Juggalo and Bill as well. And another bunch of other casts of characters. Mrs. Bronco Juggalo is in like construction administration, and she knows that her company just acquired this dilapidated old Victorian mansion that is slated for demolition. Now, it's not unsafe, and in fact it even still has power going to it. So she decides, hey, this place is creepy as fuck. I am going to hold the meetup here. And they plan to do it that way, and the meetup is going to be a cosplay or no play. This is a costume party, horror themed, so in order to get in, you have to have a costume. Okay, so this is the setup. What we find out, though, is that Brad is a real sick fuck. So he's going, but he is planning on slasher killing everyone at the meetup, one by one. Thank you. Basically, in the style of his favorite horror deaths. So that's his plan. He comes with a bunch of different slasher masks and a bunch of different weapons, and he's planning on just living out this slasher killer fantasy. And because he's paying homage to all these horror movies, there is going to be a lot of nods to the horror fans. So a lot of the standard people that are watching it that aren't horror fans are going to recognize some of the classics, and there is going to be some deep cuts for the horror peeps in the crowd. So Brad is going to slash kill everyone, and that's going pretty well until he walks into a room and he finds a body that he didn't generate. He's like, wait, what is happening? And it turns out that Bill is also a super twisted fuck, and he had the exact same goddamn idea. A game of cat and mouse ensues between the two. All the while they are slasher killing the rest of the meetup. But because everyone's like a horror fan, you know, and they're like recognizing all these things, like for instance, when Bronco Juggalo goes into a room and he sees like a girl spread out on a bed with a giant tombstone behind her, he's like, oh, fuck you, dude, I know that you're in the room and that you're gonna fucking slowly appear when the light comes up, so he can avoid it. So there's a bunch of stuff like that. We end up with those two still sort of vying to be the ultimate slasher killer, and Mrs. Bronco Juggalo is the final girl. Now she ends up in the basement, sort of cowering in the corner. And the basement's sort of set up like a Dexter-style kill room because they decorated the whole house for the party. So there's different themes in different rooms, you know. So there was, like I mentioned, the Halloween room, and then this is a Dexter-style room that was set up by someone beforehand. So anyway, it's all plastic everywhere, draped everywhere. They see her silhouette sort of behind there in the corner, and they both sort of like get to it at the same time. And they make a pact. They're like, you know what? We can do this Scream style. So they decide that they're going to slasher kill the final girl in the style of Scream, which means 2 killers pretending to be one. And so that's their plan. They shake on it. They start heading over to Mrs. Bronco Juggalo in the corner there. They pull back the first piece of plastic. They go in. They pull back the next one. They go in. There's one more piece of plastic that she's hiding behind. But just as they're making their way over there, they hear like a loud click. And they're like, wait, what? What the fuck? And it turns out that Mrs. Bronco Juggalo is also a sick fuck. And she's been planning the whole time to kill everyone at the meetup Saw style. And basically Bronco and Bill just made their way into her one of her saw traps. You know, they're trapped in this sort of like polycarbonate cage they couldn't see before, but now they realize what's going on because this TV starts playing, and she gives them a little explanation of the scenario, Jigsaw style. And basically the movie ends with the ending of Saw, where she goes up to the top of the stairs to the basement, closes the door, and says game over. So that is the movie Meetup, M-E-A-T. Someone make that into a screenplay, and if you do, give me a special thanks somewhere. Next question: who's your favorite horror director? What movie of theirs would you want to be? You know, this can change every day. I could name Wes Craven, I could name John Carpenter, I could name like all sorts of people, and I would not be wrong. Today my choice is going to be Guillermo del Toro. I just love his style. You know, he is just a lover of the genre. He always makes sure that the production design on his films is like amazing, and he understands that practical effects are important in filmmaking, and so he always does very heavy leans towards the practical side of things. The movie I'd be in is Pacific Rim, because I got to see some real life kaiju at some point. So the last question is, how would we want to kill our worst enemy? I don't have worst enemies. I don't have any enemies. I can't even think of a single person that I know that I don't like. So I'm just an easygoing dude, you know. But I think the spirit of the question is, what is a terrible way to die? So that's what I'm going to go with. So I guess I will say burnt alive. So in conclusion, Brad, congratulations on 500 subscribers. That is a lot of people that like watching your content. Peace out, homies. Join the Cadaver Club, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip. Bye-bye.